Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Before I start my explanation about analysis of literary work, let me introduce myself first. I'm Faradilla Zahra Hadi from Class B Cultural Studies. Here I wanna explain my explanation about my analysis from one of literary work that is cartoonist film. Kartini film was directed in 2017 by Hanung Bramantyo, which is a biographical film from one of Indonesia's national heroes. The film stars Dian Sastrowardoyo as Kartini, Christian Hakim as Ngasirah, Dedi Sutomo as Raden Susroningrat, Aca Septriasa as Rukmini, Ayusita as Kardina, Reza Radian as Sosro Kartono, Chandramasa Ayu as Raden Ajeng Muriam, and various other cast stars. This film is an example of a biographical family drama which tells about the journey of a girl who will become a Raden Ayu. Kartini, whose full name is Raden Ajeng Kartini, was born in Jepara, Central Java, Indonesia on 21st of April in 1879 in a noble family. Kartini was born to a mother who didn't have royal blood, Ngasirah, while her father was the governor who was appointed regent of Jepara, Raden Mas Adipati Aryo Susroningrat. This made Kartini's father remarried to a descendant of royalty, a descendant of the Madras king, Raden Ajeng Wurjan, according to Dutch government regulation at that time. In this film, Kartini is also depicted as a different figure from her feminine and submissive sisters to fight for equality for all people, especially for women. In the Kartini film, it's not only Kartini, but there are two figures who always accompany Kartini to fight, namely Kartini's two sisters named Raden Ajeng Kardina and Raden Ajeng Rukmini, who were invited by Kartini to create schools for the poor and create jobs for Jepara society. In this analysis, I use semiotic theory from that I have learned in cultural studies class. Semiotics is a science or analytical method for studying science. Science are devices used in trying to find a way in this world, in the midst of humans and together with humans. And semiotics basically studies how humanity interprets things to signify. In this case, it is not mixed up in communicating. Alexander means that a symbol or symbol comes from the Greek symbolin, which means an idea, a sign, or a characteristic that tells someone something. According to him, symbols occur based on metonymy, which means names for other objects that become their attributes. For example, the glasses for people with glasses. Symbols are also usually metaphorical, namely using words or other expressions for objects or other concepts based on figures or speech or similarities. For example, the nickname of a bookworm for someone who is never separated from books. KBBI defines meaning as the meaning given to a form of language. First of all, it is necessary to understand what a sign is and what types of sign it is. The sign has two aspects, namely the signifier, signifying, and the sign, signified, signifier. The signifier is the formal aspect of the sign. It can be a sound or a letter as the symbol. Sorry. That is a verbal sign, that is language. Besides that, there are also visual signs, namely signs that can motion, for example, traditional dance, behavior, or anything in action in dramas and films. Although the formal form of the sign varies according to the sense of the five senses, but the most important are verbal and visual signs. Verbal signs are linguistic signs, while visual signs are signs that can be seen. For example, tropic light, paintings, and buildings. From this cartoony film, the cultural aspects that can be analyzed are the typical clothing used in Japanese custom, namely the kabaya for women and the javi jangkap and the blanket for men. If related to Semitic theory, the Japanese traditional clothes are visual signs or signs that can be seen. The Japanese language used in this film can also be analyzed, namely entering into verbal or linguistic signs with some symbol. In this film, there is also a hereditary tradition that is still carried out by some Japanese people, namely seclusion. This tradition is carried out by girls who will become red and ayu starting when they are teenagers. In this film, Kartini is told to be 16 years old. The women were secluded in the house until a man from a noble family came to marry her and pick her up. The three examples of these cultural aspects are included in formal signs, namely signs that mark a concept or a signification, signified or signified, and constitute cultural semiotic studies that pay more attention to or examine the sign system that apply in the culture of particular society. Okay, before I end this video, I just want to tell that there are um, cultural aspects that can be analyzed. That is those are is women's emancipation and patriarchal culture. But because limited time that I have, I think it it could be uh, it could be a gap from the next research. Okay. Thank you so much for your attention. I do apologize for the mistakes and shortages. The less I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.